The reason China is so thirsty for Africa is because whoever controls Africa controls the world. Because most of the minerals necessary for a technologically sophisticated society and for a militaristically dominant society, those minerals come from Africa.
Yeah.
So if you want to be the biggest economy, you got to control the resources of the continent. If you want to be the strongest military, you got to control the resources of the continent. That is other reasons why China is in love with Africa and the Caribbean islands. Number one, China is overpopulated. I was invited to speak there twice. Overpopulated. You think rush hour in Miami or something? Go to rush hour in China. It might take you 3 hours to get home. That's why everybody ride bikes in China, because they don't want to wait in the traffic. So the Chinese man, the yellow man, he needs to be able to unload his excess population. He got 2 billion. We got to get him up out of here. What better place than Africa? We can spread them all over. So that's one benefit to Africa. I can get rid of all my undesirables. Number one. Number two, I have a surplus of cheap goods. Even though I run the market on cheap goods, I got a surplus of cheap goods. Where can I go and sell these cheap materials and turn a profit? What better place than Africa? And then on top of that, I need some sort of control over the resources of the land in order to make myself a global power. That's Africa. Same thing with the Caribbean islands. Now, the danger of Jamaica coming so close to being called a Chinese colony lies in the fact that most people see Jamaica as the most revolutionary of the islands. So if China can take Jamaica, China can take the whole Caribbean.
Yes, yeah.
They sold a port, very dangerous to do that. They let the Chinese buy that build that east-west highway, north-south highway, and then they gave the Chinese all the money from the tolls. They get to collect all the toll money on this highway for like the next 15 years. Why would you do that? If you're going to pay them, pay them. But here's the issue I got with Jamaica. I got with Africa. I got it with all the black countries when it comes to China. You have universities in Jamaica. You have universities in Africa. Why are you hiring Chinese engineers to come build your roads, build your buildings, create your infrastructure? If you have an engineering program, your students should be building your buildings. Your students should be laying down your roads. And I was in Jamaica last, they told me, they said, Dr. Umar, that the Chinese put this road down right now. 2 years later, it'll be rolling back up like a fruit roll up. They told me it's not even quality. They told me that in Jamaica. They said it's not even, come back in a year, this road will be rolling up like a fruit, like a blunt. You can roll the road up like a blunt, right?
Yeah.
So they're not even using quality material, they're using garbage. And they're getting all these concessions from the Jamaican government, from African government. All this the Chinese is doing, none of it is being done as a handout. It's all loans with conditions. And the Chinese are creating conditions that they know you can't fulfill because ultimately they want the whole country. And then you have the danger, because in most African countries, foreigners can't own land. So the Chinese say, if I can't own land, how do I get around owning the land? Impregnate the women. So in the next 40 years, you're gonna have a whole class of Chinese Nigerians, Chinese Jamaicans, you follow me? Who have the blood of their mother, but the mentality of their father. It's colonization all over again. And I think when we talk about this whole snow bunny crisis, I think Caribbean governments and African governments need to pass laws that make it illegal for foreigners and immigrants to come in their country and intentionally mass impregnate the black women. They're doing it. You can tell why they're doing it. You can tell. We're going to do this so we can rule this land through our mixed race Chinese African children. Something needs to be done about that. Here's the issue with the Caribbean and Africa. Any country that allows immigrants and foreigners into their land who show up with wealth, who can invest and build, if you do not empower the native Jamaican, the native Nigerian to build in their native land, you can count the amount of years. You can count the years.
The control you're going to have.
Before the Chinese will own it. I'm the president. He's a foreigner. He has his own money. You don't have nothing. You live here. You was born here. This is your land. But he's coming with a line of credit from China. You have nothing. If I don't empower you as a government to build your own, it's a matter of time that he'll own it. We can see a time where there will be more of them than it is us. If you keep on letting immigrants come in, invest, buy land, own land, build industry, and you don't empower Jamaicans, Nigerians, or anyone else to push back and challenge them, you've basically sold your island to them already.